Good morning, everyone. Thank you for taking the time to join us at our annual meeting. I know we've got a very hectic meeting ahead. The team have been very busy preparing for this. So I'll hand over to our Chief Executive, Lydia Hughes, who will start proceedings off for us.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. I'd just like to introduce you to our team. I know most of you know who we are, but we've got a nice slide there of the team. Yeah, that's great. So myself is Lydia. I'm the Chief Exec, and we have Claire Screeton, who is our outreach lead, and we also have Chrissy Morad, who's our information and engagement lead. Okay, so we have got a busy agenda. We're hoping that the whole meeting will last just within an hour. And I've asked Chrissy to put the agenda into the chat if anybody would just like more detail on that. We do have several videos today. We've tried to keep it interactive for everybody. And we do have our speaker today, our guest speaker, who's Carl Marsh, who is our place director at Warrington Place. Okay, we just got a short video of our highlights for 22 to 23. So I'll just go over, so as per the video, really, we've increased on our reach significantly this year. And as it says there, it's through our different media forms as well, through our sort of the local lifestyle magazine that we've advertised in, also our website and our other social media. We've reached out to 1,487 people this year who shared their experiences with us for health and social care issues. And also around information and guidance, 1,440 people of Warrington shared their questions with us, and we've been able to assist them for any questions on health and social care for Warrington. We've also published 10 reports this year, and we normally include the reports that are actually published within the financial year. So it's been actually 10 this year, so we've been quite busy. Okay, we just have a snapshot of the finances. We do have a very small budget, and our annual grant is 146,000. We have managed to acquire some additional income this year from Healthwatch England for a training session that we completed. And then around the expenditure, there's a small deficit of just over 12,000 this year. Okay. So we also provide our advocacy service, and within our contract, it's 1 day per week. So we have an advocate that works with all the cases for Warrington. And this year they've been quite busy with 32 new cases. And it's been an ongoing sort of 42 caseload that's been ongoing. It has increased in complexity this year as well. And we have found, like I'm sure everybody has, that post-COVID, there's been sort of more areas that's affected this. And we do have full case studies of each on our website, and also through our annual report as well, if anybody would like any more information on our ICAS service. Sorry, can I just say as well, that's the Independent Advocacy Complaint Service for NHS. Okay, and I'd just like to hand you over to Claire, and she can talk about our women's health priority.
Hi everybody, I'm sure you know me already, but it's Claire Screeton. I'm a community outreach lead for Healthwatch Warrington. So we all got together as a team, and one of our priorities was women's health. And we decided, you know, instead of just having an event in a town centre, let's go to hard to reach places. So we contacted Livewire, who run all the libraries in Warrington and the hard to reach areas as well. So we went to Colchester, Burtonwood, Penketh, Orford, Lim, Stockton Heath. We spoke to over 90 women as a team. We got surveys filled out with help from our lovely volunteers as well. And once we got speaking to people, we could pick up some themes and trends that was happening. And there was a lot of women there that we spoke to, especially ones that were like, you know, elderly who hadn't been into the town centre in years. So it was really good to get their views. And 24% voted that menopause was one of the main things they would like more information about. So then we held a women's health event in the town centre. We had about 46 people attended. It was really good. We had fantastic speakers, as you can see there, from the hospital, Women's Hospital, and it was really good. You can see all of these talks on our YouTube channel and on our website as well. So this is our women's health report that we produced, and it was presented at the Health and Wellbeing Board. As you can see, again, a lot of subjects coming up, and there was a lot of comments on there, and we had nearly 300 people responded to it, so it was really worth doing. And there was a lot of themes that came out, and there was a lot of things that we could present to the commissioners about issues that are affecting women in Warrington.
Hi, hello. I'm Dr. Sangeetha Steevart. I'm a GP at Halsby Street Medical Centre in Warrington, and I'm also Clinical Director for Warrington Place, ICB. I've been working in close partnership with Healthwatch for the past few months in women's health strategy, which is to improve the health and well-being of women who live in Warrington. As part of the Healthwatch survey, we did find menopause and cancer was two things that we needed to concentrate on, which women wanted more help and support with. Hence, we organized an education session for GPs to try and improve their knowledge on women's health, particularly menopause, and this was well received. And also, we arranged for a patient participation involvement engagement group where I spoke about menopause, and we had a specialist come from Warrington Hospital who also helped through with the menopause teaching. And there was also a doctor, a gynecologist from Warrington Hospital talking about cervical cancer screening and how we can improve it. There was also a specialist talk on perinatal pelvic health, which was well received by the attendees. And I hope to continue to work with Healthwatch on women's strategy and other things. We've also signed up for Menopause Friendly Warrington Pledge with the council, and Healthwatch is closely involved in that as well.
Hi, my name's Frances Mann and I work in Warrington Public Health's Knowledge and Intelligence team. We've worked with Healthwatch on a wide range of projects for many years, and their support to us on so many pieces of work has always been invaluable. Consulting with the public and incorporating their views into the development and delivery of strategies and projects is vital. The Healthwatch team have never failed in coming through on our requests for their support, showing their constant commitment to working collaboratively to ensure public voice is heard. Working in partnership with them has always been a pleasure, and our relationship with them is one that we truly value and appreciate. Thank you.
So we now have Carl Marsh, who's going to say a few words today. Carl, are you there with us?
I'm with you. I'm here, Lydia. I didn't know you were using that photograph. I looked startled in it. I thought I'd told our comms team to ban that one. Can I just say thank you very much for the insight? And it's great to see some of those great things we're working on. I didn't want to take up too much time with your AGM, but it's great to come back, and I did come last year, and I will keep coming back as long as you invite me. The thing I'm struck by, it's really good to reflect, isn't it? I think in Warrington, we are relentlessly focused as partners on maximising the outcomes for the people of Warrington. Sometimes that becomes a bit deficit based, so we're always looking at the things we know we could do better. And it is good, isn't it, to just stop sometimes and reflect back. And I'm struck by this personally as well. I hit 60 on my next birthday, not too far away. I'll let you know the date, Lydia, so you can get me something. But I found as I get older, I reflect back more on my life and employment, and in the 43 years that I've been working in mostly in health and care, if I reflect back, there's two things that I've learned in all that time. The first one is I am always more effective in a team, and the second one is the team is always more effective when it's challenged, and that's the role of Healthwatch, to challenge us to do better. And the best way to do that is to be embedded in the team. And that's what Healthwatch does. It is close to us, understands what we're trying to do, and helps us make sure that we maximise that transformation effort. And so I'll give some examples of that. So Healthwatch is well engaged in the Health and Wellbeing Board. That's where we set our strategy. We're just about to do that again. And I know a key feeder into our strategy is the work that Healthwatch Warrington does for Warrington. And under that, we have a set of delivery programs through the Partnership Board, which Healthwatch is a member of and has been for at least the 5 years that I've been in Warrington. And we have a set of an enabler group. So a really good example of Healthwatch's support on that is the quality and performance group. And one of the things that Healthwatch has been helping us with is one of the things we've been trying to do is make sure that people are in the optimal care setting. So we call that flow across the system. A lot of that is about discharge, giving us that patient and citizen view of how that feels. And that's really important, you know, because looking at the data is one thing, talking to practitioners is another, but actually, what does that feel like to somebody who's in A&E for longer than we'd like them to be, who's on the ward for longer than we'd like them to be, and doesn't go straight to their destination on discharge? Getting some real insight into that has been really helpful. We saw some of this flash up, the insight into post-COVID children and young people's mental health. I think we were all a little bit surprised at some of the difference we were seeing pre-COVID and post-COVID in children and young people's mental health. That really shone a light on that, so much so that's in the and it will be there forever, I think, in the work plan for our work with health scrutiny, which Healthwatch is a member, to make sure that we keep that in the work plan and we keep coming back to, are we making a difference that we want to see? So we've developed a pretty good dashboard there, both quantitative and qualitative, that Healthwatch have helped us with. And you know, one of the key ones we've been doing as well, we've been thinking about women's health. We are trying to pull together a women's health hub. The insight that we've been getting has been really important. Sangeetha sits on my senior leadership team, so seeing Sangeetha involved in really getting out there and talking about this, but also more importantly coming back to us in our teams and saying we could do some of this better. So I think the key things, one of the things I did prior to this is I just spoke to the team, said, anything you want me to talk about the AGM? And I would have done this anyway, I think, but Paul Mandacre's name came up, and he just embodied that in it with us, and we trusted each other, but also wasn't shy in pushing and challenging. And I just wanted to, and I know there was a picture up, but I just wanted to, on behalf of all of us, just raise that. And I know we have talked about that before, and we're looking forward to keeping this relationship, doing that work. You know, that trusted relationship we've built on. I looked down there, had a quick look, who's the audience? I think I know everyone now. And you know, that we trust each other, but we are still all pushing in the same direction. And it is okay to challenge, and it's hard to fix everything all at once, but you can help us prioritize some of that. So I just want to thank you for the work you do, and also everyone that's on the call, because we are, you know, all trying to come together. Anyone that can make a difference to the people of Warrington is more than welcome in our team. So Chair, thank you very much for giving me the time, and I will leave it there.
Thanks very much, Carl. Thank you for that, and I'm glad you mentioned Paul. Yeah, absolutely. We wanted to recognise Paul as one of our fantastic volunteers, but certainly the start of the chairing of the People's Panel. And Paul was right there from the beginning, and he brought all that together. So thank you for that. Thanks for the comments. Just hand over to Claire now to talk about our deaf patient experience report.
Yeah, so we've met with Silent Solutions, and they fed back to us about a lot of the issues that the deaf community were experiencing with access in Warrington. And it wasn't just about access. They could get the hospital appointments, but when they would get there, the person who was going to sign for them, BSL, wasn't there or wasn't available. So there was a lot of cancelled appointments, which in a lot of cases can be quite dangerous. So There's 100 people that are actually registered at the Deaf Centre, around 100, and we actually got feedback from 7 to 8 of them. We worked really closely with Signing Solutions, and they did a lot of the signing for us and interpreting and collating the data for us, and then we put it into a report with 6 recommendations. We work closely with Warrington Hospital as well. Their patient engagement team came to the outreach that I did in the Deaf Centre, which was really, really well attended. But they had, you know, loads of interpreters there so that we could communicate with people and get their feedback. So the report is on our website and has been widely distributed, but we will be following up on the recommendations. And I know that myself and Janet are actually meeting with the engagement team at the hospital. I know there has been changes put in place, positive changes already as a result of the report, but we need to follow up on the recommendations. So we will be meeting with them. So, I mean, there's more work to be done because we want access for everybody, obviously. So we will be working closely with them. And this is Jack from Signing Solutions.
Thank you, Claire. So just a slide from our impacts for 22-23, and just to reflect what Carl had mentioned around the Children and Young People's report. This is a media press release of from Mersey Care Foundation Trust. Actually mentions the link workers that as part of our survey around the education, that now that there are link workers now in every school. So that's as a result of Warrington Healthwatch working with the system. Okay, so some other impacts. Again, around the Children and Young People's report. Also, what was which was great for us to hear, is that some of the data was used for the social care, children's social care, around a DFE education bid as well. So and they were successful in that bid. So that's really, really good news. Just mentioned as well around the deaf report outcomes. Recommendations have gone out also to primary care as well as secondary care to the hospital. But we do know that the hospital have worked on quite a comprehensive plan to address those issues to make that fair for everybody. And virtual voices outcomes. Again, we've been working around sort of the idea of people's feedback around urgent treatment centres, and we're looking into that at the moment. And we are now part of a scoping exercise with our place partners to identify people's experiences around urgent care. Okay, again, just really around the women's health report. There's ongoing work at the moment, working with a possible women's hub within Warrington, And we're working with Paula Worthington, Director of Education, as well. She's running the group as well around menopausal town, for Warrington to be a menopausal town. And also we're continuing with our interim view programme. And we have been working with GP practices over the last year, and particular surgery was Halls Lane, and we work really well with Halls Lane. And one of the outcomes from that is that they're actually holding a virtual patient participation group as well as a physical group, and that's to encourage patient feedback at that surgery. And they've also worked on all the recommendations of our interim view report for Healthwatch. So just wanted to say thank you really to Halls Lane. And I'm going to hand you over to Chrissy, Virtual Voices.
So Virtual Voices is it's led by Healthwatch Warrington, and it's an opportunity for residents to offer their opinions and provide constructive criticism and feedback even on health and social care in our town. One of the best things about Virtual Voices is that it is you decide how much you actually take part in it. All we ask is that people are a Warrington resident over the age of 16, and that they are willing to give their email address for us to send them a survey once a month. We don't bombard, we don't send them giant big long surveys. It's just a 3 or 4 poll question with a chance for people to have their own say, and a box. We like to call them conversation starters, because sometimes you just give them the multiple choice questions and it triggers them to think about something that they actually want to share. So it's a great opportunity for people to just be at home, not give too much of their time, but actually make a difference. So you don't have to take my word for it. We've got over 500 members signed up currently, and we've actually created a video where 2 of our Virtual Voices sign-ups feedback and tell you just how easy it is. Now, hopefully the sound's going to be okay, so you might not need to listen, but it will be shared on our social media and our website after today, so you can watch it again.
Hi, my name's Terry Williams and I'm a member of Warrington's Virtual Voices.
Hiya, my name's Morgan and I've been part of Virtual Voices since the start.
We were new to the area of Warrington, and so I decided that this was be a really good thing to do.
So I can get my point across about what's important when it comes to our health. I feel I've been able to do this, and as I'm a student nurse, I'm glad to be involved and look forward to seeing the changes to improve the health of the general public.
It's really easy to do. The multiple choice questions, they take less than 5 minutes to do every time they come in, and some of the subjects are really in line with what I need or would like to influence or be part of a decision-making process, and other things just, you know, they're not relevant to me, so you don't have to answer those types of questions.
It's very easy to participate. All you have to do is just fill in a short survey each month, which only takes a few minutes.
Easy as pie. I've been lucky enough to win once, so we took the family to the Warrington market and that was great. And I would recommend it to other people if they were interested in doing such a thing.
And I have been a winner too, so I would definitely recommend to others to join and then have their say on what's important to them with their own health.
Can't say fair on that.
Thank you and good luck in the monthly draws.
Oh, just a short video about people who are actually participating in our Virtual Voices each month. And hopefully encourage more people to sign up because their voices really do make a difference. Going on to volunteering, we are really, really lucky to have some amazing volunteers. In 2021, we were approached by Healthwatch England to create a volunteer recognition course, which was, we went online, myself and Claire, created a presentation, and all the local health watchers came on and watched it. In 2022, they actually reapproached us and asked us to redo the course because it was really popular, and then asked us if we would be happy to do an e-learning module for it. which is now live, and is a chance for health watchers all over the UK to actually take part and get a recognition and a course certificate on our e-learning volunteer and recognition. So we're very proud of that. We are so grateful to have our volunteers, and you know, they are always there for us whenever we need them. When we ask them, we give them an email, see if they're available, and they're always so helpful. We've recently just gone on and they've been a great task to look at GP websites. As I say, there's only a very small team here. There's only 2.5 of us. And we really rely on our volunteers to get some feedback as well. So they all went on to local GP websites, fed back some information to me, and we were able to feed this back to the primary care networks and let them know of things that we've noticed that could be improved, which, you know, invaluable. So we just want to say thank you very much to our volunteers, and this is just a little video to show them how much we appreciate them. So I'll hand you back over to Claire. But we really, it's a family event in our Healthwatch Warrington, so even the dog gets involved, as you can see. And I have to say, he's one of the cutest volunteers we have. I'm sorry, Jim.
That's true. Chrissy, I won't play the video here because I don't know if everybody, I think there's a lot of crackling. I don't know if it's a link or whatever, but what I'll do is I'll talk through it anyway. So we've recently been sort of reaching out to local business to go and speak to their employees and all their staff really about their health and social care experiences, to get that feedback that we wouldn't normally get, because obviously they're in work 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, and a lot of our events are during the day, and then at night they have childcare and things like that. So we thought if we went into the businesses and spoke in their team meetings and things like that, that we could get, you know, any feedback that we could then. So Chrissy she produced an amazing video. Unfortunately, the sound doesn't seem to be too good today, so we've sent that out to a lot of the businesses, and we've joined the Chamber of Commerce for Warrington, and we spoke to a lot of them there and give out our leaflets. So we're going to be I'm going to be going to speak to United Utilities and another business in Warrington already. So it's been quite quick. So this is going to be like almost like our women's roadshow, but we'll be doing it through all the businesses in Warrington. And I've been in town yesterday. Mr. Scantleberry seen me walking through, and I was just talking to some of the businesses about what we can do and come in and do some signposting and the other peer support and things like that. So I think it's a really important piece of work, and I'll be doing this throughout the whole year, probably until next March. Hi, my name's... Well, Chris, I wouldn't even play that.
Thanks, Claire. Okay, so moving forward, we are working on our priorities that were selected from our public event in March, and the priorities that were identified were hospital discharge. So we're working together jointly with our colleagues in Halton Healthwatch And obviously, because we share the same trust, so we'll be doing some outreach within Warrington Halton Hospital. We'll be working through the care homes as well, and also Spire Hospital, and also working with St Rocco's, and we'll be asking patients and residents their experience around hospital discharge. So we'll have an open survey, and we'll work with our virtual panel voices as well. And then we normally publish a full report and work with our place partners to learn from good experience and see what issues that hopefully we can improve on. Also, which was selected, was urgent treatment centres. And again, it's about assessing what out of area centres that are available at the moment, and asking Warrington people their experiences, putting that data together. And again, we've been invited to work with the system around place, around a scoping exercise to see how what people's experiences are around same day treatment. And again, just touching really what Claire had gone over around the women's health priority. We will be continuing with this. As I mentioned earlier, we're part of a subgroup, women's subgroup, to hopefully work with sort of menopause friendly town. And we're working with Dr. Sangeetha as well around that, because I know she's been working a lot around the menopausal training. There's a lot of people involved with this. I know Livewire are involved with this, and some of the other voluntary sector groups as well. And again, we'll be working with Warrington Halton Hospital around scoping for an actual women's hub as well. And again, working with our sort of recommendations from our women's health report from the women's strategy, and following up on recommendations that we've posed for that. So additional work streams as well. Business Roadshow, as Claire mentioned, we found it really important, and we're trying to include as many people in Warrington that we can, rather than just work in town centre. And it's important to include businesses because there's a lot of people who work within Warrington. And again, we're working with Chamber of Commerce. We are working with Bridgewater Community Trust, again, around looking at some more public engagement, working quite closely at the moment with St Rocco's and evaluating their virtual palliative end-of-life wards, and also on a digital bid to improve isolation. So they're doing some work around that at the moment. We're working with Warrington Disability Partnership, which is an ongoing relationship anyway, but we will be working with them around the public health and wellbeing strategy and looking at a focus group there. We'll continue to work with our Cheshire Mersey Healthwatch CEO Network Collective, and again, to just work around good practice and joint trends and themes. Continue to extend the Virtual Voices membership. We're doing really well at the moment. I think there's about 500 at the moment, but again, we do encourage people to join that. And again, to work with isolated groups around sort of hard to reach. And I think Claire's working with the asylum seekers at the moment, and certainly we're looking at extending that as well. And working just again, continually working with CQC and Healthwatch England to improve people's experiences for health and social care for Warrington. And I think that's the end of our presentation, our annual meeting. I'd just like to ask if anybody would like to ask any questions before we close. The chair does his closing remarks. If anybody's got any comments. I think we've got a hand up. We've got Jim.
Yeah, Dave Betts, some of you know me, some of you may not know me. I just wanted to mention as well, Paul Mendyker was part of my group, which is the Warrington and Halton Head and Neck Cancer Support Group. What a fantastic man. Always positive, even though the challenges he had in his life. He was an amazing man, and I want to repeat everything that everyone said about him. He became a friend as well as just attending at a meeting. Fantastic man. Claire came to speak to my group last week. Not as many as we normally have there, but we had a fantastic time, and Claire was excellent and really an amazing advocate for Healthwatch, and not just telling us about it, but also adding a little bit of fun as well. And when you're in with a group looking at head and neck cancer, it's always good to have a bit of fun. We are a support group, and we support a lot of people in Warrington who are suffering with head and neck cancer related issues, including their carers and those people close to them as well. And we encourage anyone to come to the meetings. We're very closely linked to the Disability Awareness through Dave Thompson, Macmillan, Warrington Halton Hospital Cancer, linked with Clatterbridge and Aintree, because a lot of Warrington people attend those hospitals as well for treatment. We want to extend to anyone else in Warrington, because we know there are a lot of people out there probably without support, or maybe not as much support as they need, who don't have a link with the support group. So we want to reach out to them as well. If we can contact anybody in the Warrington or Halton area who need our support, then we'd like you to send them our way, because our meetings are very supportive of those people. And we're always looking for support in other ways. Okay.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you very much for that. We all echo your comments about Paul as well. So thank you for that. Have we got Jim? I think Jim's put his hand up.
Thanks, Lydia, and good morning to everyone. Apologies. If you've already covered this, I apologise. My talk email was playing me up, so I only got in about 20 minutes into the meeting. So,
sorry, Jim.
No, it's my problem at this end. I'll echo what Dave has just said about the nice thing she said about Claire. We were together yesterday at the Merseycare engagement meeting and made, as usual, very valuable contributions to the input that they took away with them. So thank you, Claire, for that. Couple of things, Lydia, you mentioned, of course, the Warrington Halton exercise that you're involved in. Is there any scope, of course, for discharge, looking at discharge from within Merseycare, specifically mental health? It's a little bit more sort of, I won't say nebulous, but it's more difficult to sort of pin down, because sometimes there's ongoing care, of course, care in the community after discharge from hospital. But Hollins Park, Brooker in Halton, of course, and Wakefield, maybe looking to the future, that's something you could think about, recognizing, of course, that there's no magic wand in terms of resources. And finally, I spotted within the annual report the income expenditure. Expenditure was 13k approximately over the total income at 160k or thereabouts. Where did you rustle up the extra 13k from? Did somebody have a magic wand?
Yes, we always have a magic wand here in Warrington. Yeah, so I'll answer your first question, Jim. Certainly, with regards to hospital discharge, everybody is welcome. So we have shared that wide to our survey to everybody, certainly all our partners. We share that with Place, and everybody is welcome. And obviously, with our outreach within Warrington Hospital, Claire and Carol will be speaking to certain patients at that particular time who's actually resident leaving the hospital. So that will go out to everybody. the year before last, we did work with Merseycare around Hollands Park, around the inpatient wards as well. So yeah, we will cover that. But at the moment, it's hospital discharge and whoever basically can actually complete those surveys. Secondly, the finance. Yes, as we're all aware that how prices are going up and expenditure, and Healthwatch Warrington on our own, that we're facing extra costs, etc. But then obviously as a business that we will work to balance those books. So we're working hard now, obviously this year, to make sure that we recoup that small deficit. But it's a small budget, and yeah, we're working hard to make sure that all balances. But thank you for your questions, Jim.
Thank you, Lydia.
I think Tim McPhee had a question, Lydia.
Yeah, thank you, Tim.
Morning all. Hi. Yes, I'm relatively new to Warrington. My name's Tim McPhee. I work for Merseycare, Associate Director for Integration, Transformation and Partnerships. Just wanted to say thank you very much for having me today. I thought your videos were really, really good. I know I put a couple of comments about the sound issues on there, but I thought that overall it was really helpful to get across the points that you did in that format. So thank you very much. I wanted to balance that out because I know I was whinging a bit, but I did think that they were really, really high quality videos and really added a lot to this. So thank you for that. Just another quick point around hospital discharge, Jim. I think that's a really good point, something that we are working hard on to improve. So I know it's difficult for patients if they've been under a mental health service for a long time. We've recently invested with Warrington VCA, 2 care coordinators who are helping to embed or link in some of our patients into some of the community assets that we've got in Warrington. So we hope that's going to be effective, but it'd be good to get some independent evaluation on that from Healthwatch. Yeah, so welcome that point. And just, I suppose, just another point, thank you very much to Healthwatch for your support and challenge. I know we have difficult conversations. I thought your report on children's mental health helped to shine a different lens on things for us, and and we hope we've made some sort of positive changes as a result of that. So just a big thanks from us for all the work you do, and thanks for having me today. Thank you.
Oh, thank
you, Tim.
Lydia, I was just going to say to Tim also that I'm happy. I have put it in the chat because I don't want to monopolise too much, but I am happy to come out and do some outreach with Merseycare around hospital discharge with our service, so that can feed into that as well. So I'll pop my email in the chat as well, Tim.
Thanks, Claire. Thank you. Kenneth from Warrington Hospital.
Ali.
Hi,
morning
everybody. It's not really a question, it's just following on from what Tim said, to say thank you so much for working. I think we've got a great relationship at the hospital with our Healthwatch colleagues, and I know we work really well together, and I know we're not absolutely perfect. We needed to do lots more, but I would just like to say thank you for the support you provide to us, and for your attendance and commitment at our meetings as well. So it's just a big thanks from us at Warrington and Holton, really.
Well, thanks, Ali. Thank you very much. Thank you. We appreciate that. And I don't know if we've got any more questions or comments.
Feel free. The more questions that come, the less time I need to speak.
I think that's it. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much. So I'd just like to say a quick thank you before I pass you over to our chair. Thank you so much for the team. Small but perfectly formed. They work really, really hard, and they always put in the extra mile. So thank you so much. And thank you to our wonderful HAB board as well, who work in the background and work to support us, and also for our chair as well, who works quite closely with us as well, and the volunteers. So I'd just like to pass you over to our chair now to finish the meeting.
Thank you, Lydia. Right, well, it's my job to bring the meeting to a close. First of all, I'd like to thank you all for taking the time to join us this morning. And I really do. I mean, I've been in this role as chair of Healthwatch Warrington now for nearly 2 years, and I still find it remarkable how such a small, underfunded team can do so much work in our local community. It is truly amazing. The only way that we manage to do it, and they manage to do it, is a lot of extra hours go in, and it is like a family. And that's how they achieve such great work in the community. So I'd also like to thank Carl Marsh from the place. Carl, thank you for taking the time to join us. You touched upon trusted partnerships, and you know, it is very important that we have these trusted partnerships. We won't always agree on things, but it's very important that we all work together in a positive way. Health issues are massive. They've always been big issues, but I mean, since the COVID pandemic and the way everyone's lives have changed and the way health issues are changing as well, it's more important than ever that we work in a positive way in the community and work really hard together to make sure we can deliver the best services possible in such difficult circumstances. Healthwatch up and down the country is massively underfunded, the health services as well. We are working hard behind the scenes, having talks to see whether we can address some of these issues, because our remit is growing all the time, and the amount of work we have to do is growing all the time. And we couldn't do any of it without our volunteers in the community. I mean, we've got such an amazing team of volunteers, and they bring so much added value to the organisation. So again, to all our volunteers out there, thank you. And if you know anyone else who you think wants to get involved with us and come along and join the team, we are a family. We like having fun as well as working hard as well. And, you know, send them our way, because the more of us there are, the more work we can do in the community. So unless anyone wants to add anything else, I'm quite happy to bring the meeting to a close now. No, all gone quiet.
Oh, well, I would like to add, Lydia has just thanked us and all the have, but me and Chrissy would like to thank Lydia too, because she's an amazing manager and we're really, really lucky to have her, and she's very supportive.
Thank you.
Part of the family.
Oh, thank you. I'm getting quite emotional.
Any other comments before we close the meeting? No? Well, thank you all for attending. I'm sure another year will go in the blink of an eye, because the last 2 years have gone very quickly. I can't believe it's 12 months since the last meeting. So look forward to working with you in the community as we move forward.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, bye.